In today's REI focus session, we're going to talk about goals, goal setting. More particularly, we're going to talk about SMART goals and how and why it's important to set these SMART goals. This was a session, a previous session that we had during our mastermind weekly session for those that are members of our real estate community. I hope that you can join us. If you want more information about our membership, check out the link below and check us out.
Is setting goals. I am a firm believer of setting goals, whether you are in a mastermind or whether, as part of your business, because if you don't set goals and you don't know your destination, you're not going to get things accomplished. And so, so there is tremendous power and tremendous, I think, importance in goal setting. And one of my, besides Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn is actually, if you go to YouTube, Jim Rohn has a lot of YouTube videos on Jim Rohn. He's a great motivational speaker. He is more in line with network marketing companies, but you can implement some of his motivational topics and apply it to your business. And two things I want to share is that if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you're going to fall into somebody else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. And believe me, at the end of the day, when you've worked 10 years or 20 years at a company, what have you got to show? I mean, what are they going to do? So you can only design your own destination, right? So, and then another quote, you cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. And so this means that you have to have an overall goal, and you can change it to that direction. And every week and every day, as life hits you with certain obstacles, or your family, your kids, or work, they all come at you at different every day, and so your direction may change every day. And so how do you get in line with that destination? Well, you have to set goals, and you have to evaluate those goals, and then change your direction weekly, monthly, quarterly. Right? I set my goals every major goals every 90 days. I have weekly goals. I have daily goals, and so you have to change your directions every single day. All right. Let's moving on to our. Okay, so what I like to when I do SMART goals, when I set goals, I use what's called an acronym or is SMART goals. It has to be specific. Goals must be clear and unambiguous, measurable. They have to be, the results must be you must be able to measure the goals. Okay, and they must be obtainable. Goals must be realistic and relevant. Goals must relate to your vision, must relate to your mission, wherever you're going. Right? Because if it's not in line with where you want to go, then why do you want to spend time doing those if it's not going to be in line with what you want to accomplish? All right? Goals must have a specific start and end date. Right? And some of the examples that I thought of, just very quickly, I didn't spend a lot of time on this, is that let's take, for example, specifics. All right? I've had people that joined Glen's Renovate affiliate programs, and I've asked them questions, and they just say, "Oh, I want to be super rich." Is that specific enough? No, I don't think so. Whereas if somebody said, "Okay, I want to make $5,000 a month in 3 months," that's very specific, and that's something that can be obtainable because you can now set specific goals to reach that goal. Whereas if you want to just say, "I want to be rich," I mean, like, what does rich mean? How are you going to get there? right? And how do you measure your progress? Whereas if you want to say, okay, let's you want to make 5,000 a month, and let's reverse engineer it and figure out a way you can obtain that. All right, so maybe the first month, maybe your first goal may be to do a deal that gets you $5,000. So how do you get there? So you got to measure. How do you measure it? You measure it by certain metrics, by marketing, going out there making offers, and so that's how you measure it. Must be obtainable. And so in line with what the guy said, I want to be super rich. I want to make $1 million in 1 year. Is that realistic? Is that obtainable? I would say that, in all honesty, if you don't have the ability and you don't know how to run a business, $1 million business, and you don't have the experience, there's no way, in my opinion, you can make $1 million in 1 year. So it's not realistic. It's not obtainable. So you can just, so it has to be obtainable, realistic, relevant. Is it in line with your values, your mission? Is real estate in line with what you want to accomplish? My value is that I value my time with my family. So the reason why I do these calls in the afternoon, whereas I try to do them at nighttime, it didn't align with my value, which is spending time with my family and my wife. And so I decided, okay, no matter if there was any people complaining about it, I'm going to do these during the day. And if people want to listen to if people you have to watch the replay, otherwise that's the only. So that is in line with my values and my mission, right? And so, timely as a T. There must be a definitive timeline deadline. So with my VAs or my team, we set a quarterly timeline for every project. We have 1 or 2 projects for each team member, and I set a deadline for 90 days. And so that's a very specific timeline, so it has to be timely. So those are things that I go by when I said go.
I hope that from watching this session, you'll be able to take action and crush it in your business. Enjoy.